Hi, it's me again. And at the risk of boring you, we're talking about the same subject 2 days in a row. Still got a bit more to say on the subject because have you seen the amount of comments on it? As I speak now, I think it's 3,700 comments. And if you look at the mainstream news clips on that video about Hancock and their videos about Hancock, nowhere near that kind of number. And so many of you told your stories. There was funeral stories and cancer stories, stories about your children, stories about mental health thing. And I read as many as I could yesterday while I was sort of skimming in and out while I was at work. And I come home and I thought, I'm going to read every single comment because I should. And yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I had to have a couple of drinks last night. I want to thank you all for sharing your stories. It got quite emotional at one point. It's hard to read all of them. But thank you for sharing it. And if there's one person that should be fucking reading it, it's Hancock. He should have to read every single comment you lot put below. And yeah, a lot of you hold a lot of hate for him, and rightly so. But focus on yourself, you know, and do what you got to do to make yourself feel better about it before worrying about that piece of shit on your shoe, that bloke. And there's one thing I saw on Sky News yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. A clip came up when I was sort of doing some stuff on YouTube with my video. And whilst I got a bit sweary and a bit angry, I had to shoot that video. That was the third one you saw. The first two were just completely unusable, so I just went off on one. Did you see this clip? Look at these ladies. This is dignity and this is class.
Well, we were standing there with the photos of our loved ones. This is my brother Mark Herring. He was 54 when he died on the 19th of March 2020. And Hancock, approached us and I weren't having any of it. I was like, no, don't you even think about it. And I turned my back on him. And he was looking for forgiveness. But I said, forever, you'll be forever looking for, because you're not going to get it off. You'll be forever looking for forgiveness because you're not going to get it off the bereaved.
What did he say to you?
He didn't even get a chance to say anything to me. I just turned my back on him because he is absolutely disgraceful. Our loved ones died on his watch and he is accountable and should be held accountable for all the deaths.
Did he start by saying sorry?
Yes, it seemed that way, that he was trying to apologise, but I told him, don't even go there.
Yeah, it's great to see something on mainstream media showing how we all feel. They didn't want to hear whatever noises came out of that poor excuse of a man's face either. And it was it was good to see. And all right, they didn't want to sit down with him and have an apology, but I think he needs to offer to as many people as possible, especially those people. That clip in the funeral, it's the most upsetting clip I've ever seen. I just can't imagine what I would have done in that situation if that usher in that funeral parlour, that fat fuck, come up to me and asked me to move away from my own mother while she's looking at her husband in a fucking box. I can't even dream of the reaction I would have had. I wouldn't have moved, I can tell you that much. But the man, you know, a lot of clips I wanted to find for yesterday's video and couldn't. A lot of the funeral home clips where they're talking through the windows and stuff like that. Can't find them. If you can find them, do send me the link. I can't find them. I worked with what I had because that's all I could find. It's like it's been erased off YouTube and the news sites and some of the other video platforms. You know, I've got a screenshot here somewhere. Where was it? You know, normally BitChute's good for stuff like that. You find all that kind of stuff on BitChute, right? So I typed in care home window lockdown. No matches were found. They want us to forget. And I'm never going to forget. And by the sounds of it, you lot aren't going to forget either. The man is a psychopath. I don't think he's capable of being empathetic. But with the heavy accent on pathetic in that. Anyway, and a clip that loads of you mentioned, I completely forgot about. was this one. Oh, it's bad. It's so bad, isn't it?
But this was odd. This was during our interview on Good Morning Britain back in December 2020.
Well, it's just, it's been, you know, it's been such a tough year for so many people.
Now, the man is an absolute psychopath. He's an absolute psychopath. And a lot of you tend to agree with me. One thing I did notice yesterday was after I put the video, I put it out about lunchtime, didn't I? And a lot of other clips from mainstream news followed, Talk TV, Sky News, stuff like that. Within an hour of me putting mine up, probably coincidence, obviously. I'm not saying they've watched my clips. I'm big-headed. No one watches most of my stuff, do they? But we had more reach on this channel, my pokey, chavvy little channel, than all the mainstream news channels did on this subject because of you, because you wanted to share your comments. And that fuckwit Hancock should be in the comment section reading all the heartbreaking stuff that I read yesterday. He should be. Absolute piece of shit. I've made some, I don't normally do notes because I just open my face and words fall out and you get what you get. But I wanted to make sure I talked about it. I'm just going to check my notes. But yeah, I don't want to go on too long. But yeah, speaking of the news clips again, I'm sure some of the presenters have their own personal opinions on it, but they can't share it. They represent a major media outlet. They can't burn bridges and stuff like that. I don't have that problem. I represent me and my family and our thoughts on the matter. So I can say it as it is. And on this channel, on the comments, you can say it how it is, because I don't remove any comments. So if I want to call him an absolute fuckwit and a piece of shit, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. And I'm quite sure his personal opinion of himself will differ from that, because as we mentioned, I believe him, my personal opinion on the matter is that he is a fucking psychopath. He's incapable of having proper emotions. And one thing I'd love to see from this, and it's not going to happen, is it? But one thing I'd love to see from this is him go to prison for it. Go to prison for it. An overcrowded, underfunded crap hole of a prison where he can make some nice new friends. New friends who may have lost a parent, like many of you did. New friends who maybe couldn't get their cancer diagnosed because you weren't allowed to go to hospital, like many of you did. New friends that have got lots of stories that they can regale him with every evening in these overcrowded, underfunded prison. It won't happen, will it? Even if we hit the absolute jackpot and he did do a bit of porridge for it, he's not going to be mixing with the proletariat, is he? He's going to be in a fucking private cell, and he'll do what a certain German gentleman did and sit there and write another book so he can cash in on all of this and try and get himself a bit of sympathy from the public. What the hell he was doing being invited on new stuff and going in the jungle, it was all him. He's an egomaniac psychopath and he needs to tone it down. And I hope, we've seen the last of him, I hope he realises, I hope he reads these comments and sees public opinion for him and realises that maybe I should step down. Oh no, actually I forgot, he's a fucking psychopath, isn't he? So he wouldn't even have the thought that he should tone it down a bit. Yeah, I'm still angry about the whole situation. I didn't get to say everything I said in the film. Like I said, I don't make notes, words just fall out of my face. But I just wanted to follow up on this because we had loads of new people yesterday. It was a big reach. This is only a pokey little chavvy little channel where I normally talk about the telly licence. And I think we're up to, 1,200 new subscribers just off that video, something like that. So if you're new to the channel, thank you. I'm going to talk more openly about other stuff. I hope you like TV licence stuff, because it seems to be the majority of what I've done on this channel. But I just wanted to say thank you all for sharing your stories yesterday. It was upsetting and hard to read, but I'm glad I did. And I just hope you're all right out there. Don't let the anger get you. Life's bigger than that absolute piece of shit, isn't it? So again, thank you to the new people who subscribe. Thank you all for sharing your stories. Thanks for watching. You got more reach on that video by watching it and sharing it and commenting on it than the mainstream news did on their watered down opinions on stuff. And they will have noticed. They will have noticed what you wrote and what you've got to say about it. They will. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that will be. Ta-da.